one thing that was really important to me looking for a new opportunity or the next project going into was to work together with both ownership and management, and specifically a sporting director, where we share and have an aligned vision of where we want to take the team and the club. And I felt straight away from my communication with Cami that it was a very ambitious club with new ownership, with her having a real ambitious plan for the team, and that felt very motivated to understand more about how that process was looking, and to see if I could be a good part of that. I think the same is true for any team. That's what you need to do very well, is that you need to have a vision where you want the team to be at when it's at its best, but you also have to understand and have to assess how reality looks like right now. And once you know those two things, now it becomes quite easy. But this is now the coaching journey in to say, what is the first steps for this team to take? What's the first steps on the journey, and from there on, what's the next steps to go towards the vision? And that was the process with Arsenal. That's the process here now with a Wave as well, to assess reality, to understand where we want to go, and now to determine what's the first steps are going to be. And I think if you're doing that the right way, then you're sort of maximizing your opportunity to be successful as well. The first period of this season will definitely be about building connections. It's about, for me, building connection with the players and the staff, but it's also for the players to do that amongst themselves, and also with staff between staff, and other staff between players. And for me, that doesn't start with just understanding how the player is as a player, for example. It's much more important to build that connection, to understand and getting to know them as persons, and understand what's their values, what's their goals, what motivates them. And because that is the sort of the starting point, and understand also now how I as a coach can help them to realize their potential. But it's also the foundation. If we have a strong connection, and if we build a culture of strong connection in the team, I am a big believer that we also now can handle much more things together. And that means that we can challenge each other, and we can keep really high standards, both on ourselves but also upon others in the environment, because we know it comes from a good place, and we know we have a foundation of connection where we respect and we know each other as individuals, and then we can keep ourselves accountable and each other accountable on that. So first part here of preseason, and especially with so many new faces coming in, has to be about connection. Football is a complex game that shouldn't be complicated. And that's sort of my basis in being like, when we start doing the things, it should be guided by basic principles. So everybody can understand that. And what's going to make a difference in how we're doing those things is going to be that we train it, and that we believe that training things and repetition of the things will make us better. And that requires consistency, as you're speaking about. And I think that's where we need to strike a really good balance. I'm a big believer in the quote of Bruce Lee, where he say, I don't fear the man who has practiced 10,000 different kicks once, but I would fear the man that have practiced one kick 10,000 times. And it's the same for a soccer team. The things that we need to be good at, we need to prioritize, we need to be consistent with, we need to train that regularly, and we need to prioritize and pinpoint those things to the team, and that needs to become our identity. And then that's what we need to become experts in doing. I think the competitiveness is the number one thing that stands out. It's such a competitive league. In any game, both teams have a good chance of winning, and also having a good chance of winning playing their own brand of soccer. And I think that's very exciting. And I don't think you have that in any other women's league around the world. I think we got closer to that over in WSL, but it's still nowhere near the competitiveness that you have in the NWSL. And I think lately, like in the recent years, with both players coming in and coaches coming in, I think there is a real diversity in the way that teams are playing, and I find that very stimulating as well from a tactical perspective, that a lot of the teams have a very own clear identity, so they can recruit players, they can work through that model, and that means that you get the opportunity to play many different styles over here as well, and that means that your own model of the game, of course, needs to be able to handle all those different styles, and I find that very stimulating as well. I mean, that's the club, the community, the people around the club, our supporters. That's the club. Without them, it's nothing. And what we do is for them. Is to make the city proud. Is to make the people that support us proud. And have something for them to look forward to and be proud of, and feeling to be a part of. Yeah, for me personally, that's my biggest motivator, is to make the supporters proud and happy, and get memories that they can cherish and they can experience them together. They can expect a team that will do everything in their power for every second of the game in order to trying to make the supporters proud and to achieve a result. Not one run will be underestimated. Not a second will be wasted. We will do absolutely everything every time we play to represent the badge the best possible way. And if you look at the fans, we would love to have that investment back, because I think this very much works both ways. Just like with communication, you have a team that leaves everything out on the pitch, and you have supporters that do the same thing, and we support each other, and each one of us, we invest 100% every second of the season, and I think it's the best recipe for success.